Good morning. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. I went to push the live button and it just kept loading and loading and loading. And then it said that I didn't have a camera. So, anyway, I'm just kind of adjusting here a little bit. Um, Beautiful, really cold winter day. But it is it was so bright and sunny on the east side of the house that I thought I'd come over here. My chair's really squeaky too, I'm realizing. Anyway, I don't know if anyone will find this now that I had to redo it. Let me just get on I'll try on the phone. Oh, Dylan's calling me. Oh, hi, Paula. Hey, I'm on a live right now. Do you want to say hi? I just started it.
Oh, okay. I'm in a bad cell service area, but sure.
Oh, what's
I'm
up?
on my way back to town. I gotta grab a torch to heat up. I think my starter's frozen on the grater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of just coming back and that'd be it for the day, but I'm gonna at least try just because be good for the guys at the plant to see I'm making a huge effort. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it works out. Sorry about that.
Hello, everybody.
It's just Paula's here. It's just one person because I actually decided to start it and then it didn't work. So I had to I had to redo it really quickly because it didn't yeah, it said that my camera wasn't there and it just kept loading. And so we'll see. But I thought it might be a way to kind of deal with another morning by myself here. So
Yeah, sorry you're there by yourself.
it's okay. Okay, I better let you go.
Okay, love you.
Hang in there. Okay, bye. All right, a little candid moment with me and the man talking about work. It looks like he had to grade today. We've got a bunch of snow yesterday, and yeah, just said that the starter's not working in the grader, so I don't know if he'll be home or if he's going out. I don't know what's happening, but with this really cold weather lately, they've been having definitely some equipment difficulties. YouTube has been sassy the last few days. Has it? What kind of issues have you had with YouTube? Paula, I thought maybe because usually I always do everything like filming and stuff on my phone, right? So I thought, well, maybe it's just my computer, but everything was set to go just like the other times I've gone live, and then it was just spinning. And then when I tried to reload the page, it said, "You don't have a camera." So, oh, you've seen several folks having trouble starting lives. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if they're doing something different. Like here, I'll show you if you're. I'll pick up my computer here. So this is what it looks like outside today. A frosty morning. I keep thinking spring is coming, and then there's no spring. Oh boy. But yeah, look at I wanted to show off behind me. I got a new plant yesterday. There you go. That Monstera. It's just a small one, but I know it's gonna get big. But I was like, I want to treat myself to something, treat yourself. And I also treated myself to some watercolor paints. But and I filmed a little bit of it, but I don't know what I'm doing. I have never had an art class, if you can believe it, in my life. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had a week of intensive art classes called like these master classes that we did when I was in my teaching, like the end of my degree. every week we had this really intense, subject area like math or science or social studies. And one week was art. So we just kind of every day we would do a new art project, and we had to, but I didn't know. I didn't get a very good mark on it. Um, it's sunny there. Oh, right on. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm just having a great chat with Paula here because and Dylan phoned. It was funny. He phoned right at 9 a.m., right when the live was supposed to start. So I thought he was calling to say, your live isn't working. But no, he was just calling to say that his grader wasn't starting. Um, and he left here like already a few hours ago. So, oh, Debbie Sue's here too. Hi, Debbie Sue. Welcome. Where's Dylan? Dylan is out trying to get his grader started. He had to work today, but he called and said things weren't working. It's really cold here again. I think it was -27, but the wind chill was like -34. So that's like below freezing point. So you can kind of translate that um, in your head. But I'm so glad that people found me because, like I said, it didn't really work. My scheduled live, I scheduled it yesterday, and then I went, pushed go live and just like spun and spun and spun. So I reloaded it, and then it said, you don't have a camera, like camera not found. And so I just went and quickly redid the whole thing from scratch. So I thought, well, I don't know if anybody's going to see this. I know I'm over the cold too. I am just so ready for spring, especially when I see people like, I don't know if you guys follow Tracy with an IE Wild and Free, or other people, maybe Julie Jordan Scott, or someone in like California or Florida, right? Scott with Escaping the Suburbs, or Ali G, or any of those people. And you're just seeing like this, they're walking around in their t-shirts, and I can hardly be in my t-shirt in my house. This is my new t-shirt. I'm so excited. I never buy new clothes. And when we were in Jasper that day, when we were walking around, we did the live. We each bought a t-shirt from one of the stores there. So it's funny though. I really need to buy new clothes, but I just cannot spend money on stuff like that. It's really hard. I guess I got to figure out how to go to the thrift shop. So yeah, how's everybody doing? You got a couple of people here. I know it's not as exciting without Dylan. It's much more fun with Dylan, and we've been talking about things that we could discuss. But the one thing that I was thinking of talking about was just YouTube in general. And then this morning earlier, I watched Mrs. G. She had I'm a recent follower of hers, but she had a video about quitting YouTube. She's not quitting, but and just finding your why and all of these things. Good. I'm glad you're good. And so the thing I was thinking about is, well, first of all, for myself, I didn't really plan to do YouTube. Okay. I made a couple of videos, just little short things while I was on my way to school. And it was just a way to like vent and let off some steam because I was in such a pressure cooker. And I knew that I wasn't going back to that school, but I was really struggling with how am I going to just face each of these days. And then after that, in the summer, I think I kind of processed a bit of it, talking about this transitions book, but that I had read, and outside by the tree, and I uploaded that. And but I didn't really like intentionally say I'm going to go on YouTube. It was just like a way to hold my videos, if that makes sense, because um yeah, I'm always out of room on my phone. I have not had a laptop for over 15 years. Just ordered one will be here Monday. I'm excited to finally be able to do more things with YouTube. Oh, that's awesome, Mike. Good for you. That's great. I'm glad that sometimes it's those intentional decisions we have to make, right? To keep things going, to keep the channel going. And I think that's what I'm kind of talking about. Like, am I going to keep going? Am I going to keep doing this or not? Yeah, but I'm enjoying it more than I thought. But I also realized that, okay, so there's a quote, I think it's a C.S. Lewis quote about if you find yourself on the wrong road, the person who turns back soonest is the most progressive. Like, so if you're going the wrong way, you know, you're not getting anywhere by continuing to go the wrong way. Okay, so I think sometimes I'm like, is YouTube just a distraction kind of for me? And but I think it's more than that. I think it's more meaningful, and the connections I've made are meaningful, like with you guys here. Yeah, he's been wanting a laptop for a long time. I'm so glad you're getting one. Mine is like about 4 years old now. They seem to have like about a 4 year shelf life before things start to go on them. That's my experience, but hopefully this one lasts. So yeah, well, write any questions you have for me about my life, about my, what I'm doing, any suggestions you have. I'd love to hear them. And if you could, yeah, I might just take a second and just see if I can share this again because my live that I scheduled didn't work. So I have a feeling that, like, unless you just kind of stumbled upon this one, everybody who or anyone who might have been like waiting for the live to go, that I had scheduled, sorry, I'm slow here, would be thinking, what the heck's going on? Where is she? I guess it's not happening today. I don't even know how you get to this sometimes. Do you ever find that you're like, I've done this so many times, but I still can't figure out where things are. Oh, your phone told you. Okay, okay. So maybe like because I had it scheduled, and if you had your notifications on, which is cool, um, then maybe it just kind of like went back to the other one. I'm just gonna write join us just in case someone sees it. Yeah. The other thing with YouTube is I've been thinking about how it all works, right? And I know we talk about these things a lot on different people's lives. Excuse me. And I'm really new to it, to be honest. But realizing that like the posts and the shorts and the videos are all almost like a different platform. And they don't really intersect that much. Like they seem like they do because we're creating from the same place. But they say that like people who watch your shorts don't always see your videos. People that see your videos don't always see your posts. And I'm the kind of person that I like to go to the person's channel and I'll kind of like see like what are they up to so I don't miss things. But I know I'm kind of like more of a detail obsessive type person, so I don't think most people do that. And I just wondered, you got the notification too, Debbie Sue? Oh, that's great. Yeah. So how are you doing today? Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about, besides what when I scroll through shorts and come across something I may like, then I will go to the page and look at the long form. Oh, okay. So it does work then, like the shorts kind of leading people to the long form videos. Okay, so here's the thing that I was also thinking about, and this might sound negative, so just bear with me and give me your honest thoughts. But sometimes I think, even though we're all trying to support each other, subscribing to channels that really aren't up your alley. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something you would normally click on or watch, or it's really different than your own channel. I don't know how helpful that is, if that makes sense. I have a great YouTube buddy, Dean, with Underdog Theology, and it's kind of funny because he's one of the ones who's encouraging me to start something, but I don't think he's ever I don't know if he's ever checked out my videos, which is totally fine. But he has this Underdog Theology channel, which is great. If you type in Underdog Theology, he's a Christian. He's a pastor actually. He's not working as a pastor right now, and he just has awesome commentary on all kinds of things that are going on in kind of the Christian world. Anyway, and then he also has a movie channel. I think it's a DVD or something like that. He's renamed it several times. It was Movie Dean at one time. It was, oh man, movies are rad. Anyway, it's all about movies. He loves movies. And he told us, like, his followers on his Underdog Theology, because, at its peak when he was doing lives, he was getting like 200 people on a live. So things were really going for him. Anyway, with his movie channel, he told us, "Don't subscribe." Said, "No offense, but don't subscribe, because if you subscribe to my movie channel, it's going to throw the algorithm off, because it's going to start, pumping out my videos to people that normally wouldn't watch it. And I want to try and find my people that want to watch movies and talk about movies." So he said, "I appreciate your support, but don't worry about watching my videos. Don't worry about subscribing, because it actually doesn't help me." And sometimes I wonder if, in some ways we want to help each other, but we're actually doing a disservice because we're kind of scrambling the algorithm for people to really find their niche. So let me know if that makes sense. Hi, Miss Sam. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Mike says, "I don't know if it matters, or at least I hope it doesn't, because I look at everything on YouTube, and if it does matter, then I would have to make a separate account just for exploring." Yeah, like, in theory, I've read and heard and watched videos saying that it does matter, but I don't know enough about it, right? Um, it actually does make sense. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking, like, I'm just gonna go through my subscriptions and be like, okay, I love this person, I support this person, but I don't think that I'm helping them by subscribing to what they're doing, because I'm only watching their videos. There's a few people, right, that I only watch their videos because I care about them as creators, as people, and I want to support them. But my subscription and my watching is making YouTube blow out that, push out their video to people like me, to more people like me. Does that make sense? And so I think sometimes it, like, stops your channel from growing. It kind of arrests your channel in that place where it's just kind of churning, and it's not really going out to the people that you're trying to find. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. If I subscribe to somebody and make sure I watch their content. Yeah, and Mike, you're a special person in that way, and I really value that. And I tend to be a lot that way myself. I'm very loyal. I care, like, if I subscribe to someone, I'm going to go to their channel. If I don't see their stuff for a while, I'll go to their page and see what's going on. But then I'm also thinking, like, how many people can I actually keep that going for, right? And so one thing I've noticed, okay, here's another negative thing. So, you know, um, I hope I'm not, like, totally screwing things up. I do believe if somebody is subscribed to you and doesn't watch your content, YouTube will take them back off eventually. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Hi, Evie. Oh, thanks for being here. Evie, do you know, yesterday I went to Walmart, went on a little excursion by myself, and it was really cold. I didn't want to be outside, but I was shoveling outside anyway, so I brushed off my car, started it, I went into town, it's just a little ways away from me. I'm kind of on the edge of this town, and I went to Walmart and I looked at, the watercolors supplies, and I did a little Googling, and I did before that, did a little, checking out what do you need to start with watercolor. And so I got myself a basic set of, 2 paints, a little, um, yeah, thing of paper, da 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 da, a little thing of brushes, and I should have got myself a palette, but I couldn't find, like, it was weird. Walmart didn't have any, and then I went to this little hobby store, which has, like, musical instruments and art supplies, and then the other side of it is actually a plant store, and that's why I have this new this new plant up behind me that I'm showing off. Anyway, whoa, I'm really easily distracted, but what I was getting at is, Emmy, you reminded me that I tried painting yesterday for the first time. That was my creative Friday. And I was saying at the beginning of this live that I've never had an art class, um, except for one intensive kind of week in university. You're clapping. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love that you guys are saying hi to each other. It's always fun to meet up here, right, on people's lives and see how everybody's doing. But anyway, I experimented with it. I did film a little bit of it, but it was so bad because I don't think I really got, like, the idea of watercolor, so I was just, like, trying to paint, like, a normal, like, with different kinds of paints. Um, anyway, I'll figure that out, but it was therapeutic and a lot more work than I thought. A lot more work. It's relaxing, but not, I think, if you're a perfectionist like I tend to be, and I'm like, I want my first painting to be, I wanna be able to frame it and put it up in the living room. And that's a problem because that's not gonna happen, right? Ah, Miss M, every now and then I will go through my subscriber list and will unsubscribe if it's something I'm not helping them. Okay, good. It may sound mean, but I don't know if it is or not. No, I don't think it's mean. I think it's honest. And, you know, I don't want friends in real life that are just hanging out with me because they're, trying to help me or feeling sorry for me or you know what I mean? I want friends who are real and honest and tell me when I'm messing up and holding me accountable. And on YouTube and on the internet, I also want friends that tell me, like, Pam, you really got to work on this. And I know there's things I have to work on, like the whole idea of having a hook at the beginning. I tend to just kind of kind of ramble, and I'm too conscious of the camera. I'm not naturally good at this, okay? And so it's kind of weird for me. I don't always do things that I'm not naturally good at, but I feel like it's something I care about enough to improve. But anyway, the point is, I want people to point out to be real, and so I don't want anyone watching my content just because they're trying to give me some watch hours. And I know that might be controversial, and it's totally okay if you disagree with me, because obviously I don't know a lot. You guys know more about this than I do. Oh, yes, hobby store. Yeah. Um, it's always really expensive though, you know how those places tend to be, right? Especially in small towns. But they did have some cool things in there that and they had a couple of different palettes. Is that how you pronounce it? Like, Evie, you were showing some of yours yesterday on your video, and I was like, "Oh, well, I saw something like that there. I should have bought that." But I was just looking for, like, this a cheap plastic one, and when I think about it, I'm like, "That's probably not the best anyway. Maybe I should have splurged and spent the $6 for for the other one." Oh, Sally's here. Oh, Sally. Hi. So glad you're here. You're awesome. I have never learned art except in elementary school. Yeah. I mean, because sorry, I'm stuttering here. Because of the type of school I went to, okay, I went to an ACE, Accelerated Christian Education school, where we didn't have regular teachers, regular classes. We sat in these desks with dividers facing the wall. It was like that one-room school kind of deal, and I didn't actually take, um, certified, like, provincial accredited curriculum until, like, grade 10 or 11. Anyway, we didn't have art. I had like a couple, like there'd be some off things now and then. I had an embroidery class one time, I remember, and it was just kind of like people in the community or through the church or through the school that knew how to do something. They would sometimes, condescend to come and teach us something. So I remember learning to crochet one week there. I can't remember how to do it now. And I remember doing embroidery, which I really loved. Sorry, I gotta scroll down here. Um, I lost a lot of subs when I switched to watercolor. Oh, okay. That's okay. It is what I'm interested in, and it's not for everyone. Yeah, and I think that you'll probably grow in your subscribers. Like, it'll probably start to really grow as you find other people that are really into watercolor, because it seems like it's a thriving community on YouTube with watercolor. So I'm sure that your subs are gonna grow again. I don't know if you've seen Peter's video yesterday. Peter. Peter. I don't think I follow Peter, but he was describing how he took a break from YouTube and came back and started unsubscribing, and then like over 200. So then he hit over 200. Sorry, I gotta catch up here. Debbie Sue. Yeah. You can find glass veggie trays white in a used store. Okay, that's a good idea too. Yeah. Part of my problem is that everything I buy, I think of how many lessons it took to afford that, like teaching piano lessons or voice lessons, and, so it's hard for me to spend money, and I'm like, "Okay, I can't keep doing that, I can't keep saying, like, everything is equal to." I just have to do what I need to do, right? I enjoy art videos, so I enjoy watching videos who do art. Evie, you inspired me to start watercolor painting. Yeah, Evie, you are inspiring people all over the place. Isn't that awesome? Good job. Hey, Big D's place. So that's Daryl, right? That's Sally's um, husband. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. It's funny. I don't know if I said this I commented this in one of your lives, on the Saturday night trivia one, but some of the guys at work call my husband Big D. And it started with, it's a long story, but it started actually with my sister-in-law, and it's kind of taken off. So I thought, oh my goodness, I said to Dylan, there's another Big D. Hi, Sally. Hey, brother Mike. Mike Urbanowski. Okay, I'll have to check him out. It's so nice to see you doing live. Oh, thanks, Sally. I'm really enjoying all of your content. Wow. There have been some beautiful scenery that you included. Yeah, that was a challenge for myself, or it was like I wanted to do something creative and I felt really inspired. And that's the thing with creativity, don't you find? And with YouTube is everyone can tell you, like, you just need to keep slugging, you just need to keep making videos, and that's true. But with anything creative, whether it's like writing, painting, whatever you're doing, when you're not inspired, it's it's not there. Does that make sense? Um, Little Big D, sorry, Sally is abusing you in the last video. Oh, I have to watch that. I saw the notification, but it was still really early this morning, and Peter Urbanowski. Yeah, maybe I like it. Maybe you like it. Yeah. Love the abuse, hey? No, we talked about unsubscribing over 200, basically, like we were talking about. Okay, I'll have to watch that video so I really can get what you're talking about. I think you did with the big sunflower glasses. Oh, you guys were that looked like so much fun. I should have watched it. I should have watched it. Sally, I say this, enjoy the journey and don't worry about analytics. Yeah, that's wise. Create content that makes you happy. We're not here at the police to police other people. We're here to make content that makes us happy. Yeah, I think that's how you stay inspired, right? It's like, does this bring me joy? You know, what's that lady's name? Marie Kondo or something? I'm probably getting it wrong, but she has that whole thing where you like hold things in your home and say, does this spark joy? And then you keep it, and if it doesn't spark joy, then you toss it. This sparks joy. I love pottery so much, but I only just use like this one cup every morning. I'm kind of a creature of habit. I was styling and profiling. Oh man, that's awesome, you guys. That is so nice. I was inspired with Tracy with an IE. Yeah, and I felt kind of bad because I meant to mention her when I was doing that coffee chat and talking about the people who had inspired me to try painting, and she was one of them, but I didn't mention her for some reason. I feel so bad about not waking up in time to watch Sunrise with Sally. I enjoy watching the sunrise. I just can't wake up in time. Yeah, Miss M, I am on Mountain Time, and so when she's doing it, it's like 5 a.m. for me. And because of my, I have a really hard time sleeping, so I often wake up. And if I wake up too early. If I wake up in time to watch Sally's live, then I'm always like, "Oh, right on. I can watch Sunrise with Sally this morning because it's like 5 something and I'm awake." So I love it, Sally. You have really like made what used to be a very depressing reality for me that I was going to be super tired and I couldn't get back to sleep because I always get up at 6 just 10 after 6 to make my husband his breakfast, which he totally doesn't demand. And he often tells me, just sleep, you can sleep. But I love knowing that he has like a good breakfast to take with him because for so many years, um, I, yeah, I never made his breakfast, never made his lunch for quite a chunk of time. And we go through different seasons. And I'm in this new season where I'm home in the morning. And so I just kind of my last comment was not supposed to have the word police in there. Yeah, darn microphone, I know. Oh, to please other people. Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Um, I post all my daily paintings, good or not so good. I really don't think painting is bad because we learn from what we have painted. Maybe I should pull a Daniel and run and get my painting from the other room because it's oh, I don't think I can do it. I'm too scared. You are more than welcome to watch the replay. Yeah. I mean, the replay is great, but I find like with things like that, just watching the replay and not being in the moment, it's it's like, yeah, it's good, but sorry, I got a bit lost here. That's what I will have to do, Sally. Yeah, you can watch it and it'll probably feel great to not Marie Kondo. No, no, no. That's why my house is a disaster from trying to do her cleaning. Oh, really? You're not a fan of her? It's Kondo, not Kondo. Yeah. You know what, Sally? I love looking at your house when I can see you on your lives because um I don't know how you would describe yourself, but like in my mind, I would describe you as like a maximalist. Does that make sense? Like you have all of the things, and I am the opposite of that. I'm always editing. I'm always like, you know, if anything, looks like there's I don't know, I probably would have been great living in an igloo, up north where there's just nothing but white walls. It's so boring, right? But I think that's the difference, we're both teachers, but I was like a upper high school, grade 11, 12 mostly was my focus. And you're a kindergarten teacher, and that's just like different personalities, right? Um, oh, you're so excited when I come. I love your sharing. It's really great, and I've been really impacted. I catch Sally occasionally. Evie says I get up around 7 and have to read my Bible before anything else. And that I think that's good to do that. Um, I've gotten into a good habit. I decided, have you ever tried reading the Bible? Like, those Bible plans in a year, and you get started and you go for like 6 weeks and then you totally forget about it. I've done that so many times in my life. And I was inspired to try something different. So on the Bible app on my phone, I started a reading plan that was 3 years, and right now I'm in the fourth quarter of the third year. I'm after I'm done this quarter, these next few couple months, 3 months, I will have read through the entire Bible in the last 3 years, and I love that for me because it's been a long time. I've studied the Bible a lot, and I've read the Bible a lot, in my life, and I'm very privileged to be able to do that. But there was something about, going through methodically and just knowing, "Okay, I have read every book." Because some of those books you just keep skipping and skipping. I know, like Ezekiel. I'm at the end of Ezekiel right now, and I'm like, "How many chapters are in this book?" Oh my goodness. Pull a Daniel, yeah, yeah, uh, do it all the time. I drew my self-portrait. Oh, that's cool, Evie, and we'll wait until I finish my drawing lesson, and I will show before and after. I look like a man in what I drew. Oh, yeah, it's a learning process, right? And I think you can enjoy things and it still be a learning process. Sorry for all the glare in my glasses. I'm not really looking at myself and aware of I always sit in front of windows, and that's, like, good and bad, I guess, right? Um, I pull a Daniel all the time without realizing it, yeah. When I lost my daughter, um, yeah, March of 21, and I have read every day since, so almost 5 years, wow. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry about the loss of your daughter, Evie, and I watched your story, and, I was just weeping with when you were sharing. You're on your 5th time through the entire Bible. Wow, I that's awesome, and just what a peace it brings. I find, like, the wisdom that comes. There's so much out there. There's a lot of really good self-help. There's a lot of, really good commentary on the Bible, but you know what is the most life-giving thing I found is just reading the actual Bible, and the Holy Spirit has promised to teach us through his word, and the Bible says that no word will ever return void, right? What a promise that is. That means, like, every time we read the Bible, we are my cat's jumping up. Every time we are learning and growing. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Um, sorry, I have a touch screen on my laptop, and judges and numbers are a struggle. You know, it's amazing though, there are a few stories in Numbers that are interesting that I forgot about. I'm doing a year-long Bible study with a friend from church. Oh, that's great, Miss Am. I've read the Bible 3 times. Now, since I have a long commute for work, I listen to it while I drive. Yeah, you know what? I struggled with thinking, like, if I'm listening to it, it's not the same, like, it's cheating. And I still struggle with it a little bit because I think when I'm listening to the Bible, I can get more distracted with other things. That's true. But listening and reading along or listening when I'm doing something, it's way better than not reading it at all, right? So I think listening is, and especially if you're on a long commute. I had an hour, a full hour commute, it was 100 kilometers, I had a 100-kilometer commute at my last job where we lived before. And I used to listen to so many podcasts uh, during that time. Evie says, I'm so afraid the Bible may not be available to us someday. I bought the entire Bible on CD and a player. When I can't read, I will be able to listen. That's good, because you have to think about that. Like, even having our eyesight and being able to read, that's a privilege, and just having the Bible available that we can hold on to and open it up, that's a privilege too. And sometimes we feel like, well, it's always going to be like this, right? It is so important to start the day off with quiet and God. No scrolling, no phone unless you're using it for the Bible. It's just so calming, and I always have a wonderful day when I start off with God. Yeah, that is a lesson that I'm learning. Miss Am, I love having a Bible to hold and a Bible app that reads to me. Yeah, that's really helpful, isn't it? Listening is great for the hard to pronounce names and places. Yeah, that's true. You can get stuck on these things, and it's like, oh, that's how you pronounce it. I love to listen to someone read it properly. I love to listen to the guy who reads the NIV Bible on the Bible app with the British accent. I think. Uh, did you hear our Bible purchases are tracked when bought with a card? Oh, yeah. I tend to stay away from. And it's no offense to you, Evie, or anyone. I used to listen to a lot of really fear-based things, okay, like podcasts, especially in the Christian world. And over time, I realized that that is not the attitude, and that is not the place I want my heart to be, in a place of always worrying and a place of fear. Um, and I think that, unfortunately, even, Christian YouTube, Christian podcasts, Christian everything, it's still all run by the same machine that runs the rest of the world, the capitalist. Like, you got to get money for things, right? I mean, I'm all pro capitalism. I mean, I live in rural Alberta, which is like kind of oil and gas industry, logging industry, everything is industry, everything is capitalism, okay? But these podcasts and a lot of these Christian channels, they I'm not saying they don't mean well, but I'm also saying that they need money and they need clicks. And what gets clicks is rage, or rage baiting, like getting people mad about something, upset, or afraid. And so I think that's something that I've steered away from, where I actually don't listen to a lot of those podcasts I used to always listen to, and I try to, yeah, I just had to limit that for myself. That's why I love Sally D for reading the message first thing in the morning. Yeah. And is it Yvonne, or I've heard her name pronounced differently. Like, the only way I've ever been told to pronounce Yvonne is Yvonne, like with an E. But is it? I feel like people have been pronouncing it and I haven't checked her out. Oh, Evie, you are so right. Sometimes I cannot pronounce some of the places and names. Yeah. I mean, we all know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because we heard the stories, right? And then if, maybe your kids watch Veggie Tales and you heard it there or something, right? But other than that, or Nebuchadnezzar. But if I was to not have heard that and just reading my Bible, I don't know, I probably would be pronouncing it totally wrong. I knew you loved me, Mike. I knew it. LOL. Oh, my little brother Mike. Yeah. I love your relationship. That's really fun, you guys. Pam, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not afraid, just prepared. Okay, yeah, that's good too. I mean, the ladies' Bible study that I've been a part of, that I've been feeling like we were talking about that. We were reading Luke and reading about the end times and the signs of the end and things like that. And there's a verse, where Jesus is saying, uh, don't do not plan for how you're going to defend yourselves. And I thought, that's interesting, right? Especially in like the whole Christian nationalism movement. There's a lot of people like stockpiling certain things, right? And trying to, I just think that there's like being prepared is really good, Evie. I'm not saying it's not, but I think, yeah, this kind of bunker mentality um, is not. It's all around me. I have a lot of people in my life that are in that mindset, and um, I don't want to talk politics or anything really on here. It's not wise, but let's just say I think one of the reasons why I'm struggling with my Bible study, even though I love the ladies, I've learned so much from them. There's so much wisdom. I'm getting into the word. Is I feel like a lot of times at the beginning of the study and at the end when we're just talking, is things are kind of devolving into discussions around those issues anyway. I'm so afraid to tell others about Jesus because of what happened to Charlie Kirk, but I know where I'm going with my timelines. Yeah, I think a lot of people are really impacted by that. I don't want to look back and I think I heard this and I wish I would have. Yeah, yeah, that's a valid point. Yvonne. Yvonne. Okay, okay. And love VeggieTales. Oh, you love VeggieTales. I know, hey? Oh my goodness. I just think of like those songs are in my head from renting the videos, buying the videos for my kids, right? When my kids were little, it was kind of like the time where everything was moving from VHS to DVD. So we had the VHS VeggieTales, and we had, and I listened to Phil Vischer. He has the Holy Post podcast. Is a pretty good one if you ever want to just hear Phil Vischer's voice. I honestly do not want to know when and where it's going to happen. I just want to live my life as a good person while I have it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, Seize the day, right? That was kind of in the 90s. I know that was a big thing about seize the day. And yeah, I don't know if any of you watch Cynthia with Senior Insights. I watch her pretty regularly, even though she's like a few decades older than me. Um, I just love her personality, and I love, yeah, I just love her as a person. So she just did a video about kind of like the end stages of life, and it was kind of, it's heavy stuff to talk about, but it was really impacting to listen to her and to think about how we live our lives in and just to have that in mind, that you don't know when the end is, and we want to be able to, you know um, keep short accounts with our friends and our family members. Yeah. Oh, where is my? Oh, I'll probably get a copyright strike if I sing that. That's the best song. Where's my hairbrush? I love that one. And the cheeseburger one. There's just so many that kind of stand out. That was always my favorite part when they got to the silly songs with Larry. The part of the show where Larry sings a silly song. God is bigger than the boogeyman. Is that I think that's a song too. You love Cynthia? You watch her too? Yeah, she's Pam, did you hear me read the poem The Dash? How you're going to spend your dash? I think I did, or at least I remember a reference to that. Yeah, that is really impacting, right? How are you gonna spend that between the 2 dates? Because we never know. Cynthia was my most watched channel in 2025. My cat is being she's as she's getting older, my cat, speaking of old age, my cat is rather aged, and, she's kinda weird where, like, if we're doing anything else, she has to get in there. And so she's meowing, and I'm like, "Why are you" She actually didn't learn to meow until recently. We got her as a rescue. She was 3 years old when we got her, and she didn't meow. She hardly made any sounds at all for quite a few years, but now she's discovered her meow, and she knows she can get my attention, so Oh, yeah. Hubby is heading out for the day. I will see you all later. This was a great live. Oh, thank you for coming. I'll see you later. Have an awesome day. My cat Jake is 15 and I'll feed him. And then if I go near the mudroom again, he thinks he's going to get fed again. He's a big liar. LOL. Oh, yeah. So every morning now, when I get up, I walk into the kitchen, turn on the frying pan, and I get the eggs out of the fridge and the cheese and the vegetables, and I start chopping things up anyway for my husband's breakfast wrap that I make him. And I wrap it in tin foil and send it out the door with him. Every morning, I walk into the kitchen and comes and stands there, meow, feed me. And so many times, like my husband will say, I just fed her. But it's just kinda like that Pavlov's dog, right? The ringing the bell. So for her, the bell ringing is me walking into the kitchen in the morning, and she immediately associates that with food. And we don't give her treats anymore, really, very rarely, but, she associates my son with treats. So he would when he was younger, he would get her to spin around in a circle before she could get her treat. And so now, yeah, if he's home, she'll come up to him and kind of rub against his feet, and then she'll spin in a circle, and she's thinking treats. Oh, pets are hilarious. You're gonna go, yeah. See you, Miss Sam. I guess we're getting to the end of the hour here. See you around on the streets of YouTube. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, well, maybe to kind of wrap up what I was talking today, if there's any questions though for me personally, or just things you guys want to talk about that are on your mind, or maybe even something you need prayer for, or just a worry that you have, or a funny story, anything, I'd love to hear it. I have a liar too and a cat. Yes. uh, but yeah, I just thought I would riff, talk off the cuff about YouTube and the journey. Here, I'll pick up the laptop again, and just in case anybody's interested in what it looks like outside. I guess you probably can't really see, but it's very cold and snowy day. So if I lived somewhere where it was a little bit warmer, I'd probably be outside. Appreciate everyone's prayers. Yeah. I think that has been one of the most beautiful things about YouTube is uh, the prayers. And Kentucky Life with Debbie is another channel that I've been watching for a long time and following her journey. You know, she has such a wonderful miracle story of adopting her girl, and when she was in her 50s. Um, and now, her daughter she calls her girl. She's 18 and she's off to college. And at the same time, her husband is really suffering with cancer and has recently had to move into a nursing home. And Anyway, she has been gathering prayer requests and praying for them. She has, like, a list of over 200, I think it must be far over that by now, prayer requests and people that she's praying for. And I've just really noticed, like, there's times when you can pour out into other people's lives. There's times when you can pray for others, and there's times when we are so burdened by our own needs and we need prayer, we need support. And so I love how we've been able to kind of do that for each other. Like, there's times when I'm praying for other people, and then there's times where I'm, like, crying out to God and saying, "Please pray for this situation." I just feel paralyzed by, different things that are going on, usually with my kids, right, or my extended family. Pam, don't you find that our communities are growing to be such wonderful people, caring about one another, really caring? Yeah, I do find that. It's, the care for others is really significant. And I think for me, I find it really significant because I'm in a bit of a lonelier time of my life where I don't have a lot of friends here, and I'm also just, um, I've been isolating a little bit, maybe too much since our move and since my kind of disastrous teaching year. I mean, on the surface, everything looked fine with the teaching. I taught the classes, I did my best, but inside I was falling apart. Um, and I just barely got through that year. But after that, I don't know if it was like just all the stress, the traumatic things. There was a whole bunch of extended family stuff going on. Um, that's been really painful. And it's just like I don't have it in me to socialize as much anymore. So this, like, YouTube has been just awesome to meet people like Mike and Sally and Miss M and Debbie Sue and just everyone who comes by. You and me, Pam, loneliness. Yeah, like, it's a different stage of life, and I never thought I would actually feel lonely because I've always liked to be alone. I'm kind of a loner. But my best friend one of my best friends lives, like, 4.5 hours away now, and she's really busy, um, but I'm gonna go see her, like, next weekend, I think, Lord willing, except for the looks like it's gonna be bad weather, so I don't know. I'm hoping it works out, praying it works out. And then my other really good friend that I've walked through a lot of things with, um, she lives many, many hours away now too. So, and then my kids have moved out, um, and my husband works, like, Dylan works often 6 days a week, and long days. So that's the reason for your channel. Well, you're doing a great job of making friends there. You have such a wonderful personality. You're colorful and bubbly and sincere and caring and just, uh, have such a big heart, and everybody can tell that about you, and I'm so glad I've met you. You can have a lot of people around you and still feel lonely. It's crazy. I know. I think that's the problem because people might say, "Well, why don't you have friends at your church?" I do, but I don't. It's hard to describe. I think it's because this is the church that I've been going to since I was 4 years old, off and on, different times in my life, and now that we live back here in this town, I'm back going there, and everybody knows me or they don't, right? It's kinda no in between. There's no one that's really walked through my life journeys, um, and sometimes I hate to say it, but sometimes in churches there's a lot of gossip. Like my kids have been terribly gossiped about in this church, and it's hard sometimes for me to even sit beside those people, knowing what they've said. And I think, well, I should just deal with it with them. Maybe I should, but when my boys moved out, it was heart wrenching for me. I know they have to grow up. Yeah, you want your kids more than anything to be fulfilled, to thrive, to find meaning and purpose, to stretch their legs. It's kind of like you don't want your kids to be like strawberry plants, okay? So you know how strawberry plants they're always like all connected together and they've really really shallow roots. You want your kids to be like an oak tree. You want your kids to be planted, deep rooted, strong, with leaves that can provide shelter for others. And I have struggled with babying my kids too much, especially my son. I think it's a mom and son thing. Um, and there's reasons for that too, like struggles that my kids have had. Um, Gossip and people who lie. Yeah, it's a reality. Like that is the reality. Well, we are at the top of the hour. There's still a few people here, which I appreciate. Um, I love you too, Sally. You are real. I totally enjoy interacting with you. You make me smile. Oh, that's so good to hear. Yeah, you really make me smile too. Uh, I love it, and I love Dylan really enjoys the trivia on Saturday nights because he said I've always wanted to play Trivial Pursuit like when he was a kid. His parents would always be playing it with their friends, and he was never allowed to play. But I think he would listen a lot. And he also has like kind of a photographic memory. Like he remembers exact dates. He remembers exact numbers, like old phone numbers, old license plates. He remembers the year and the season and like the weather of like dates that we went on 25 years ago. And to me, it's just I'm like everything's just a big blur. I have no idea what's going on. So I think he's really good at trivia. You're so horrible at trivia. Yeah. I I am not very good at it, but it's fun interacting with you guys. You know what's the most fun about your trivia night is how you interact with each other and how you kind of rib each other and bug each other. And Dylan and I relate to that so much. Like we're always uh, our relationship is so funny. And a lot of times when we're leading worship together, say we're having a practice like for the team, and people will be the other worship team members will be actually worried about us because of how we're talking and how we're goofing around. And we sometimes have to say, "Oh, it's okay. This is just how we're not mad at each other. This is just how we talk. This is just how we relate." Um, After 40 years of marriage, we know each other. We're in each other's head. I wish you would stay out of my head. Oh, you guys are awesome. Well, is there any last things you want to talk about or say uh, before I sign off here and do something much more boring like cleaning or laundry? Actually, I can't do laundry on Saturdays because we have a tenant who lives in our home and it's her laundry day today. We have shared laundry. So thank you, whoever came by. I'm glad that this live ended up working because yeah, at first it was like it didn't work at all. So I don't know what's going on. Thanks for saying to hit the like. I appreciate that. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Get yourself a cup of courage, as Tracy with an IE says. Or if you've already had a couple cups, maybe yeah, treat yourself to something today that you really have been wanting. And let's just keep encouraging each other and praying for each other and showing up for each other. And I appreciate you guys so much. So, yeah, I'm glad you didn't have any trolls. I don't think when you do it landscape like this on a laptop, and I have the settings so that um, I think it's set to just subscribers. So far I haven't had to worry about trolls. But if I use my phone and I did it vertically, then I've like when I go for walks, sometimes I'll go for walks for sanity and do a live. I don't usually save those, but um, then I'll get trolls and I'll be like, oh boy, I really need a moderator. I don't have a moderator yet. I got to figure out how to do that and make some people moderators. Have a good day. I'll see you when I see ya. That's a great tagline. Okay. Bye.